like the first 45 seconds of the show, it's just me babbling. And I think it's funny, personally, which is why
We're
we
live
continue
now,
to do it.
so
I know. The gig is usually that, like, it seems like I don't know that we're live, but I know. It's in the corner. It pops up on the screen. I can tell. I
Moon
know when
knows
we're
all.
live. I do know all. I'm me, damn it. Okay, cool.
That's right.
So, if you notice, there are only 2 screens here. Anyone who's been watching the show for the last some odd episodes, you know that we've been having some weird connectivity issues on Sako's end. So Sako is here. She might even be able to pop up in the chat and say hello. Maybe. I don't know if she can do that. But this is Sako and the Moon, despite it just being the moon. And today, as many times as you guys have watched this show, and you heard us babble on ad nauseum about the Imaginarium convention, almost every episode it gets mentioned. Here's why. Me and Sako met at Imaginarium. So it makes sense that we would discuss the event upon which we met. Also, we kind of plan our year to go. That's one of the few times we get to see each other in person. So it is sort of a significant event. And we met a lot of our colleagues at Imaginarium because that's where we were. Dan and Eva at Imaginarium. Jason William Allen, Stephanie Lanham to go to Imaginarium. Sean and Amanda Durkin from Malice Manor will be at Imaginarium at least a day. We got them at least a day. And so many other people have been to Imaginarium. So it makes sense that eventually we would have the directors of Imaginarium on the show. But before we do all that, there's a theme song to play. I'm not singing to it, but Sako can play it now. Anytime now, be great. Hit the button. There it is. This is the part where I'm supposed to jump in and say the theme song. My voice is doing some weird things. I'm all nasally. We were supposed to send this out, and by we, I mean me. Supposed to send this out to somebody to do vocals on it. And I didn't because busy moon. I mean,
it's groovy. I like it.
I stay busy. Like, I'm literally doing the show and then putting my shoes on, going to the car and driving to Cincinnati. Like, I'm busy. Like, the moon stays busy. And there's some more stuff going on with me and more other avenues. But as of right now, right here today, this is Sako the Moon Horror Podcast. Somewhere backstage is Sako Toomey. She's an author and a graphic designer. And she's been published about 6 times. She does a whole bunch of other things. She's a wearer of many hats. And she's been doing her craft for decades, and she would otherwise be here to share those with you. But StreamYard said no. Otherwise, I'm Dwan L. Hearn, more affectionately known as the Moon. And these two lovely people are the originators, the origins. They are the Big Bang Theory to the universe that is Imaginarium. Ladies and gentlemen, Steven Zimmer, Holly Philippi. Welcome to Sako the Moon. This is where people clap, but I can't hear you all because you all are at home. Now, Steven's actually been on the show. Steven's actually been on the show once promoting his book, Dates of Darkness. If you guys haven't bought it, I should throw something soft at you, but I can't risk you guys getting a concussion because then you can't read the book. So go get the book. Order it now. You have a separate device. You can open another browser. Go order the book. Go do the things. Do it now. Do it now.
Do all the things.
But how about you guys? Go ahead and talk to the people. I've been babbling for about 5 minutes now. Go ahead and talk to the people. Tell them who you are more specifically than I did. Ladies first.
Me. Oh, well. I am the program director and co-director of the Imaginarium. I'm also a freelance editor, also editor for 7 Star Press, which we co-run, and all those good things. I'm a closet writer. I'm not published. Ooh, naughty, but I'm working on a thriller right now. It's going to be really I'm working on it. It's yet. I'm working on it. I'm just too busy with all the other things. Imaginarium has become a daily job now. Programming is a beast, and it's so worth it because this year, every year I say the same thing. I don't know how I'm going to get it better, but it does, and it just gets better and better and better and better. The more you do something, the better you get, right? So, and it's my favorite thing. I love programming. I do. Go ahead.
Who's the other guy? Who's this guy?
Who's this guy? Well, I am also, as with Holly, I am the founder and co-director of the Imaginarium convention, and then we also co-run 7th Star Press with her as an editor, and I also do freelance editing, and we also co-host the Star Chamber Show podcast, and I also am an author, and I currently have, as of December, my 35 books in print in speculative fiction. So it's quite a lot to tackle on a weekly
You're
basis.
Also an author coach.
Yes, and an author coach. Yeah.
Oh yeah. These two stay so busy. There are so many things that I'm not even sure that these 10 questions that Sako had ready for you guys is even like going to be able to touch. Besides the Imaginarium, what is the program with the bookstore with from the ground
up books?
Oh yeah.
The
author program. What's the program that you help with?
The Pencraft. I do I'm one of the mentors on the Pencrafters mentors.
There you go.
With them. Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is stuff. See, you guys remember that Sako's the one that's organized. I'm not. I am the one dude that does things off the top of his head with the bad memory. So this is going to be a blast. Pencrafters. He's involved with Pencrafters. He does his own freelance editing. So any of my writer friends out there who needs help, who thinks they want to send it to somebody, very reasonably priced, contact Steven Zimmer or Holly Philippi. They will take care of you. So before I go into babbling all too much, Sako has a structure here, and it would be wrong and unfair of me if I didn't get on with it at some point, right? So let's go with question number 1.
We made notes. A few.
So this is in preparation because eventually we are going to be on Star Chamber sometime really soon, Sako and I'm sure.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What inspired you both to build a publishing house and a convention? What problems were you trying to solve in the creative world?
Well, that would be me, Mr. Zimmer.
Well, originally back in 2008, I wanted to start a press that, published stuff that was not just part of trends and things like that, but focused on things that were, had original voices that were well written. Quality of writing was always at the core with me, quality storytelling, but basically to give a voice to authors that may have a little trouble, maybe getting a large house to go with them because they maybe didn't have the biggest platform or they didn't fit into the right trend at the moment, and giving those authors, a chance and finding those kind of talented authors. And so that was kind of the genesis of 7th Star Press. The convention actually came into it in 2013, and that was to create an event where you have all the kind of relaxed atmosphere of a convention with all the meat and content of a national writing conference, and in a way that there's not hierarchy, where the indie author or the new filmmaker, anybody can feel comfortable coming into the place and meeting and talking to the New York Times bestseller or the multi-award winning filmmaker who has larger, like Netflix shows.
We've had sound engineers that were Emmy award winners.
But being able to network and find those mentors, find those opportunities, and have the educational aspect, but don't lose sight of the fact of the fun either. Yeah, and because we think that's the icebreaker, and it's true. I mean, a lot of the fun events and social things are where I think a lot of the best networking takes place. So we want to create something to have the best of both worlds, and so we're here 13 years later, and I can tell you that that's what we built.
I can independently confirm And yes, I realize that they are sitting here right in front of me. And yes, I've been a part of this convention, been directly involved in the last couple of years. But I will say, my very first year, I felt very welcome. And I will say this because it's only right for me to say it. In a space that I'm not familiar with, as a wasn't published, hadn't done anything, brand new to it. I was just now taking my writing seriously, and in conjunction, as a person of color, I was able to walk in and I felt comfortable. I did not feel awkward. I didn't feel like, oh, this isn't a space for me. I felt very comfortable, and I greatly appreciate the environment that's been fostered by not just you two, because you guys can't foster everything, but the people that you surround yourselves with,
no,
the people that come to the convention, that do find new people and treat people like we're old friends, even though we just met 5 minutes ago. It is a wonderful environment. So when you guys do hear me or Sako say, hey, you guys should go ahead and come through Imaginarium, it's not because they've sponsored the show, because they haven't, but it's because it's just honest. I mean, if I didn't feel comfortable, I wouldn't been going there, and I sure the fuck wouldn't be telling you guys to show up. So show up. We'll be there in July. I think the 17th to the 19th.
That's correct.
At the Holiday Inn Louisville East.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to entertheimaginarium.com and get your tickets to go into the event. You can show up day of. I would suggest you go ahead and get your ticket ahead of time. Just trust your moon on that one. It's an important thing to say, and I want you guys to know that I thank you.
Thank you. That's what we want to hear, because that we have strived for the inclusiveness and the diversity since day one. And I think we've built, and we're building and building and building a more diverse culture. And I love it. I love it.
There are.
You hear, that's what we need, that the networking and the different voices and, all that to come through. And knock on wood, we've not had like maybe 1 or 2 problems ever. And
I've not encountered
thousands of people at this point, and
over the years.
And maybe 1 or 2. That's it, and they will not be allowed back, obviously.
And I'll go ahead and tell y'all, if there's a problem at Imaginarium, y'all find me. I'm gonna handle it,
or me, because
I'll find a way.
Escort them out.
I'll handle it. I don't know what the fuck I'll do, but I'll handle it. But no, like if I've noticed over the last few years an increase in women authors, queer authors, Black filmmakers. Everyone is present. Everyone is friendly. Everyone is welcoming. It truly is like a family reunion when people show up. There's a group of us that just kind of like strive, like, all right, we're going to see each other in July. Like, we're planning it. We get there early. The amount of times that I get messages from, like, I was talking to James Sabata like a few days ago, and we were discussing what we're going to be doing in the few days prior to the event starting. Just when we're not doing anything, we're just out and about. Because we plan, that's when I see James. That's when I see my buddy James. I see him in July when he comes through. So this is an important thing to mention. But I want to get into 7-Star Press for just a moment. How does 7-Star Press decide which stories are worth publishing? And what makes a manuscript stand out to you like immediately?
There's a lot of stories that are worth publishing. It's just a matter of if at the time we're able to add new authors, we can't spread too thin, and or it's but when we do add something new, then it needs to be something that's a little different from the other stuff we have. We try to find something a little unique or a little bit different than some of the other authors that we have, so that we're offering even more. And so it's never a judgment on the worth of an author if we can't necessarily work with them, and if that's the case, we readily refer them to other publishers we know that are excellent and that can do just as good a job as us in terms of the whole process. And so it's not a matter of worth necessarily, but just distinctiveness and voice, and just something that's a little bit different.
I'm looking for the uniqueness, and like he said, we're never open for submissions technically, because if you have the manuscript that thinks it really fits us and it's going to hit our eye, it's better to message one of us personally, because we get so many we can't even keep up with as far as in the email box. Because with the convention and everything going on, it's overwhelming the amount we
I can see that.
Yeah, and I just can't answer every single one with Imaginarium grown like it was, which is unfortunate, but that's just reality. So,
the nature of success, right?
Well, I suppose, but people that, approach us, a lot of Imaginarium will approach me and, hand me, like the first 3 chapters, because that's what we look for, and look it over. But yeah, an independent voice, something unique, not the same model. And that's basically it.
Like our most recent, one of our most recent new author releases is Kimberly Richardson, The Blood Emperor. And so she took a take of having the Emperor Napoleon as a vampire in modern day New Orleans. And it's gothic, it's horror,
it's wild,
it's romance. It's a genre blender with that historical aspect woven in, and it's actually got a great world building aspect built in. I mean, this thing could go on to some, all kinds of stuff if she wants to take it.
And she's an excellent writer.
And she's a phenomenal writer. But Kimberly is, so it's something like that, that we look for. And but yeah, officially we don't take open submissions right now on the site, because for the reasons Holly described. But when we do sometimes find a project like that, we'll add one more.
I'm gonna go ahead and go off script a little bit and ask this question, because I know someone in the audience wants to know. Bestie, I got you. When it comes to the Imagine Awards, what are you guys looking for when it comes to best poetry book, best nonfiction book, best anthology? When these books come into competition, what is it that that you guys are looking for? How does this process work?
There's a whole list of things that the judging panel judge on.
When it gets to the judging phase, there is a whole list of criteria. And Holly can.
God, I'm trying to remember them off the top of my head.
Neither of us. I just want to say neither of us are judges.
No.
So we don't.
We work with coming up with the criteria, and like I said, I have a whole list, but trying to come up top of my head is there. It is uniqueness, emotional response is one. How enjoyable it is to read, for one thing. The editing, because if it's got a bunch of mistakes, then it's not worthy of an Imagine Award. The vetting is very picky about that. Inclusiveness, individuality. I'm trying to help me out here.
Yeah, well, it's in terms of the quality of writing, the impact of the storytelling. It's got we got multiple categories that judges give a point total to, and then that's of course added up, and then a final score is generated for each title for each judge, and then that's kind of how it gets down to that final scoring to determine who wins, like an Imagine Award.
But those are the main things they're looking at. Plot, make sure that there's no plot holes, character development, how the character has
it's
progressed
several
through the stories. There's several different things that they judge on.
In a form, each of those things are given point totals to generate, scored to get that final point total.
And I do monitor the spreadsheet that they're put on, but we have nothing to do with judging.
We have a coordinator,
obviously,
for obvious reasons. I'm sure it'd be very tough to judge as 5 people you hang out with, and then 5 people you've never met before. I understand that even if the quality is on the side of some of the people you knew personally, it would look a certain way, and you guys can't lose the credibility of the award. Of course. So I know there's a lot of people who are asking about the judging process and how do you get to the judging process? How do things get through to that spot? And I hope that this has answered their questions. Someone's trying to break it. This is Nicole Fort Thomas. She has a question. She says, it feels like I can't break into the cool kids. I somehow get nixed before I even get to send in the manuscript to be judged. So under a circumstance like that, what do you suggest that they do to improve their options or improve their chances? What should they look for? What should they maybe scan through twice or maybe 3 times before submission? What happens?
I'd say at this point it's very competitive. I mean, we got a huge number of submissions. I mean, even we had a big increase over last year. So, so there is
a lot of entries.
Competitive to get to the judging stage, and that's again, it's a subjective objective process because some people may look at something. So yeah, it's not saying that somebody's not worthy or anything again on that if they don't make it to the judging.
I was going to make that point when you got done.
Yeah, but it can be someone that, I mean, it has happened. Someone with their first novel, or maybe their second or third, and they're in the running with a New York Times bestseller or a USA Today bestseller. It's happened. And
I've met all those. I've met the USA Today bestsellers walking around. I've had panels with them.
So it doesn't matter how many awards you got under your belt, or that's not even looked at. But I'll tell you what it does help is I know they look at the judging panel reviews across the board, good and bad, and try to zero in on certain things, see if there's a repetitiveness. If you've got 10 people saying this book is poorly edited, good story, but it's poorly edited. If you got 10 people saying the same thing, well, then obviously there's something going on there, right? So they look at that too, and then they read into, the synopsis. They're looking at all of that.
The samples, the synopsis, the cover
art, that goes into it too. If you've got really shoddy cover art, you've got to step that up too. Good cover art, good synopsis. Don't rattle on. Don't give your whole story away.
I want to make sure we are very clear on the point here that there are a lot of people who enter into a lot of festivals. I have screenplays in 5 different festivals right now. There's a lot of submissions that come into Imaginarium. And so not being selected or going to the judging panel is not a reflection of your work. Let's always be very clear on that. When you submit, I have some friends that have had some questions in the same vein. And I've had to tell them, listen, not being up for an award means you weren't up for an award. And that's the only thing it means. Doesn't mean that you're a bad writer. Doesn't mean the book was bad. Doesn't mean it's poor quality. It just means in comparison to the other people who went with you, you just didn't make it that far.
That's it. And it's hard. And it gets harder every year.
Happens to everybody. And I just want to make sure everyone understands that competition is great.
And you keep trying. That's it. That's it. You keep going. You keep trying, because one of these years, get in there. Because the finalists that do make it, we always tell them it's earned. Don't think it was just, hey, you earned it. If you are there, you have earned it.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're going up against a lot of stiff competition. It does help to write in very niche areas like steampunk or, some game modules or, the very niche areas.
Less of a volume.
Yeah, you don't have the volume of
it's the weird thing about publishing and doing books, because sometimes you want to do what's trendy because you want to be noticed and you want to be in where everyone's talking about. You want to be in the pool where everyone's discussing the books, but you want to stand out from the pool. You want to be alike enough to be in the category, but different enough to stand out in the category. So how do you wear a 3-piece suit that stands out while looking the same? It's weird. It's an odd space, but I think it's a pretty decent analogy to discuss it. But competition's a big thing right now, and everyone's trying to write and do better and grow. Competition is one of the ways they notice that. So I'm just going to ask, what is a reality about indie publishing that most creators don't understand until they've experienced it firsthand?
Marketing and business. That's the two. And
your books don't sell themselves.
Yeah, the books don't sell themselves, and you got to stay organized on top of it. And so it's a job. I mean, even if you don't intend it to be your full-time living, I mean, you got to treat it like a job in order to to pursue.
If you want to sell books,
if you want to sell some books, I mean, you have to look at all those things.
Yes,
and discipline on that.
And you are your brand. That's the big thing. When you go to conventions, you go to the book signings and all this to sell your books, don't be sitting there glued to your phone, doing this, doing this, doing this.
I've actually seen
you've
that.
got to
I've
make
seen that a few times.
Yes, I have too. You got to make eye contact. You got to grab people. Hey, what do you enjoy reading? I write such. You got to make that eye contact, and you've got to greet people and all that, because you are your brand. You're, like I said, you can't just expect a book to sell itself, because that's not going to happen. That's a 1 in a million shot, or trillion at this point. That's the business. It's rough.
I feel that, because that's the part I suck at the most. I am not good at promoting myself at all. I'm like, you know what? Y'all know me. It's fine. It's fine. You can handle it. It's fine. Buy it or don't. But then you have people like Dan and Eva from Vamp Chat, good friends of the show. And as you're walking past their booth, they have like a game to engage you. So they get you off all out of the aisle, and they're like, hey, real quick, Louis or Lestat, and they just give you a simple question. Now they've got your attention. They draw you in. And then once you're now talking to them, they talk about their show, Vamp Chat with Dan and Eva, and they talk about their books, which they have sequels to be to premiere at Imaginarium this year. So if you like vampy things, this is the Imaginarium for you. Trust me on that one. More on that.
We got Dacre Stoker coming too. So
we do got Dacre coming back. Good friend. But
they need to add Nandor the Relentless to the voting. From what we do in the chat.
You have to tell them that.
I keep bugging them about it.
I
keep bothering about
You know what? At some point, I'm going to be nagging people. I'm like, hey, Dacre, buddy, old pal, when are you going to come do Sako on the Moon? It'd be a great episode. It'd be great.
Yeah, get a hold of him. Yeah.
I had to reach out.
I'll chew his ear too. I'll tell him. You need to go on Sako.
Thank you.
I got you.
We have all sorts of people. The chat is live today.
I know, and I don't have the chat up.
I don't either, but that's why Sako keeps putting things up.
I keep seeing them pop up there. But
yeah.
So there's a whole lot of people in the chat. Thank you all for watching Sako on the Moon. Take your opportunity to like the show, give the channel a subscribe, and then while you're here, go share it on your social medias real quick. Just let everybody know that you're watching the show right now. And they should be watching for like the last half hour. And then they can go back and watch the rest of it. It's cool. Go tell your peoples. You know what? Do it as a birthday gift from my mama. It's my mom's birthday today. Happy birthday, Beverly.
Happy birthday, Mama.
It's my mom's birthday. She doesn't watch the show, but just on the off chance that she's like, oh, my son's alive right now. Happy birthday, Mom. I love you. So let me ask this question. Do you think the creative industry is oversaturated? Or are we just seeing more voices finally get spaces? And I love this.
Yes, it's oversaturated for two reasons. One is there's a lot of people that put stuff up that has not been through the process in a professional manner. You get a lot of people that put up things that are not edited, that they haven't gotten a professional cover artist or cover design, and just putting up stuff.
It's just not ready to be published.
I see that a lot of places, and that's the tough side of self-publishing. There's a great side of self-publishing, and that we could talk about that also. But that's one reason. The other reason is because you just have a lot of AI junk that's starting to flood.
Yes,
the market, AI generated stuff that's starting to flood. So so saturation, yes, and that's why I was saying marketing is one of the key things, because it's tough to get above that noise with just simply volume of stuff getting put out there
and fighting the AI. And then some people are doing blended AI, that's what you really got to watch out for now. And it's driving me crazy. I do have to make this point. Quit hating on the M dashes. And quit hating on the ellipse. People are hating on it. Oh, it's AI generated. We've been using those forever. Okay. Some people like to use them. Now, an overuse, okay, then maybe we're getting there. But authors use those. It's a common tool. Always have. We all use them. So don't hate on them.
I've been rereading A Tale of Two Cities recently, Holly's favorite novel of all time.
God.
And but it's got M dashes all over the place.
It does.
So that's just
the worst book ever written. I'll stand on that podium.
I will say this. I think it's fair to remember how AI works. AI works by studying what we've already been doing and then mimicking what we've been doing. So it's not that the abundance of M dashes and ellipses is an AI thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's the fact that we've been using them a lot. And mind you, it's scanning everything, including conversations. I use ellipses in conversation.
That's where it picked it
all
up.
the time. So it learned from us.
Mm-hmm.
It learned from us. It's a sign of it's a human author trait that it's trying to mimic. So don't use it as an automatic sign. But stay away from AI because art is human. Art is human. That should be a t-shirt. It's not.
Well, and like we talk about on our podcast, the Star Chamber Show, we talk about it all the time as the fact that never going to get human nuance. I don't care how good it gets. AI is never going to capture because it doesn't have the emotion, don't have the soul, don't have the, it's never going to get the essence and the total nuance. It can mimic, but it's not going to get it all. It's just not. Mm-hmm. Still like to have that human voice, and we're always going to want that human contact and the humanity aspect of it. I think, and then everything cycles. That's why vinyl's popular again, and even people are even buying cassettes. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing here is that a lot of the great stories are great stories because someone's lived them. Yeah, someone has perspective of what happened. It's not just thing A happened led to B led to C, all the way till you got to eventually Z. It's A led to B, and this is how I felt about it. And then someone else can be at the exact same event and be like, well, I saw A happen to B or go to B, but this is how I felt about it from a different angle. Because in a basketball game, one team wins and one team loses. The perspective of the game is going to change either way. You know what I mean? The winner's going to see. We still got March Madness going on. The Final Four is tomorrow, so I figured a basketball analogy was going to pop in here somewhere.
Yeah, the Lakers last night it was brutal.
I didn't check out that. I was too busy packing.
Well,
and I was watching wrestling because that's what I do.
Yes, everything.
But, when you review the game, the winners are going to have a completely different perspective than the losers will. Same game.
That's right.
You watch the exact same game, same score, same people.
Yep.
Perspective is different, and I think that's what really draws, in a good story. Because we can all go through a thing. Let's call it a car accident, and the person in the car versus the person in the other car, we're going to have two different perspectives of the exact same accident. Both are worthy stories.
Traumatic events, trauma. Some people come out victims, some are warriors. That's just it's the nature of the game. Person. That's just
you know what? And we might put them in written form. We might put it in a film. We might make some other sort of media and
role-playing games,
some sort of discipline. So the question is, why do you think that cross-disciplinary storytelling is so important right now?
Now, as far as the way I look at it is that it just tells in different modes. I think games and film are definitely the showing side of things, more get you to be more succinct in your storytelling approaches, get you to be more efficient, less obviously not the exposition issue, whereas in writing you're getting into the interior of the character, their mind, you're getting into
their
voice, and then also the with writing, I think with the reader, though, in film and gaming you provide the visuals, but in writing the reader comes up with the visuals. So each of them is a very distinct style of storytelling that has different strengths, I think. And I think so there's a lot to learn as a writer from each of those things.
And it's fun because you can bring out and showcase your characters more. Because like if you're doing a role play game, it's character driven, right? And then it's individual driven game. So and you can get some tidbits of what they're viewing the characters as and how they're interacting with your character, which is cool because you can't get that just selling your book or whatever. you're getting that feedback and watching people play your character and all that. It's really cool. You know,
and then
you get a different take.
Film is a team driven type media, and so with that you see what other people bring to the table from their creative perspectives to your world.
You get their take. Yeah,
you get their take on your world and characters as a film project advances and completes. And so there's a lot of different I think that strengths in each of those that a writer can learn from.
Sako has a question. It's in the chat. I think she can bring it up. There it is. She wants to know if she can run a late night game on Friday night. You
sure can. I'll just get with me, and then I'll get you with our game director. And he loves to schedule all that. I'll be putting those schedules out by like May or June. He comes up with a whole and we have a lot of people that showcase if they've got a new game, or a card game, for instance, or if they've got a role play game they want to run.
I gotta give him a shout out.
D&D and Magic.
Demetrius Witherspoon and Darrell Miller, both in Indianapolis. Both are creatives.
Yeah, they've run
games. Let me tell you, they both they've taken their properties into comic books, games, film. I mean, Demetrius has novels. I mean, it's just crazy the amount of areas that each of them, both of those guys have taken.
We chat with Darrell a lot.
Yeah, Darrell and Demetrius. Yeah, they're two that I love to use as examples of creatives that have done good things in all those areas.
Well, Darrell ran a game last year.
Yeah, Darrell ran a game. Yeah,
his card game.
Yeah, and Demetrius has a card game.
So what do you think the authors can learn from all these other mediums, game design and film, that would genuinely improve their storytelling? What can they learn? You touched on it a little bit.
Well, learn more about the characters and how people view their characters. Same way with the world building. It gets bigger. Right? You're building upon that. So you can take that then and go back and add it to your writing. It's almost like interviewing your character, which is a panel that we did last year. Lynn Tincher, I believe, did that one. And we talked about interviewing your character, that's what you're kind of doing, right? When you're doing game or you putting it into film, because film, you're seeing your character and that through that lens. And it's more visual, right? Where, like you were talking, if you're writing it, it's the author. You explain it, but it's in the mind's eye of the reader. So it's a different take. So everyone, you can take all that, then blend it together, and do a novella or do an offshoot from your book. Add a series, just make it a whole series or whatever, because you can elaborate. You can build and build and build.
I think authors can learn a lot from doing a screenplay, especially an adaptation of their own work. Because it'll teach you about efficiency.
Yeah.
It'll teach you about showing, not telling.
Dialogue.
Not getting, because you can't get into exposition. You can't get into, big descriptions or anything like that.
You can't go on a Stephen King rant.
Less is more in screenplays. And it teaches you to be more efficient and tighter.
Less info dumps, less, all that.
You don't have space for info dumps. No. It's definitely, I think, an exercise writers, even if they're not intending to take it farther, but if they end up with a good adaptation, why not, take it somewhere. Adapting your own work, I think, is a good exercise for a writer. I think in terms of the different media.
Yeah, because then when you go back, you're thinking, oh man,
it'll help.
I could power, I could put power behind this dialogue here, and I don't have to go on a rant, because a lot of the info dumping, you can add it into the story. If you want to tell something or a backstory, add it into some dialogue as you're going through the book, as it's progressing, character development. Right. Instead of info dumping it all at the beginning or whatever, add it throughout your book. You got to sprinkle it.
Yeah.
Gently water the grass. Don't flood the yard. On that note, what would you say is the most common mistake that talented writers make that quietly hurt their chances of success?
My answer to that is something I see all the time, and it's hyper focusing on sales. And I know that sounds like a strange answer,
Counterintuitive,
counterintuitive, or something on that area. But I think when writers put the value of events, or doing a bookstore appearance, or doing a library, anything. And the only metric they're looking at is how many books can I sell, or whether they were successful a day, just all hinges on how many books did I sell. You could have made the best contact that's going to pay off wonderfully in your creative path, and they don't realize it or pick up on that sometimes. And
well, somebody may go home.
They failed because they were at a slow event and only sold 5 books, and so. So I think I'm just using that as an example, but the same thing can be online. If the sales, because everybody that I've talked to at least says ebook sales are down for the most part, for most writers, and so, it's a tough market right now, and so but it gets them into this kind of depressed zone where they suddenly you can see it start to bog down on their mental state, but you don't look at just that metric. You look at how each day how you're building your platform, how you're networking, people that you're meeting, contacts being made, and that's something that you could have happen at any event, no matter how many books you sold at the day. There's a lot of ways to measure value when you're out there.
We talk about, we see the baby authors, right, the new authors. And we'll go to events, and me and Steve are laughing and walking around and having a ball and talking to everybody. And then we'll see these poor authors that think they were going to sell 100 books, and we call it morose. You can see the morose set in. And it's sad, because you're not going to sell a book if you're sitting there looking like a sad puppy.
That's a good point.
You're not going to sell anything. You're not selling yourself. You're not. If you've sold 1 book and it's noon, well, smile, talk to people, laugh. You're going to get more bees with honey than you are vinegar.
That's true.
Yep.
I think
you might and talk to the other authors, network with them, find out,
learn things, see what they're doing, sit and watch them,
see what events that they're doing, see what blogs and media they're interacting with, get the scoop on what's happening in the town. What kind of media is in that town, what kind of indie bookstores are in that town. Use that time to help set up things for the future. Don't get so
if it's dead, well,
upset,
that's it. Go talk to other authors.
Things are slow. Don't just look at how many books I've sold in the moment.
And like I said, somebody may go home and buy your whole dang collection.
Yeah,
you just don't know. Can't predict people.
Yeah,
there have been several times I've walked through a bookstore or seen this and that, and I just didn't have the cash to spend in the moment.
Right.
It's just like, I'm looking for something to get later, not today, but later. And if it's like, oh, I remember that guy was kind of an ass. Congratulations, you've ruined a sale in the future.
Right. Whether I like your book or not, if you're an ass,
that's just how some people they just work like that. Particularly at a convention, sometimes you have to budget. When you go to like big events or to conventions, people have to budget their spending cash. They're spending their money on food, on trinkets, on books, on whatever else. If they're coming into town, they have to make sure they have gas for the drive back, money for the flight back. So they might just be looking for the next author to follow once they got home. Maybe they want to carry all those books on the plane with them. So maybe they're just like, you know what? I'm going to get your card, and I'm going to fly home, and I'm going to order your book and have it sent to my house. This is a thing, people. Like, understand that like selling the physical copy from hand to hand happens, but doesn't happen all the time. Have your business cards, have your bookmarks, have a smile. I love buying things take it from me, a guy who buys things. I love to buy things from people I like.
Yes.
I don't have to know you, but if I've met you and had a positive conversation, I'm likely going to buy from you. Fun fact, fun Imaginarium story, if you don't mind me telling it. This actually has nothing to do with any single writer at all. The first thing I bought at my very first Imaginarium had nothing to do with writing. It was not an author. I walked through the vendor hall, right? And as I walked through the vendor hall, no one spoke to me. Not a single person spoke to me.
Oh,
But one
uh-huh.
person spoke to me. Her name was Pam Miller. She sells like soaps and lotions. She sells like soaps and lotions and stuff.
Yeah,
Lemongrass Spa. And she was the first person to say hello to me. And I bought something from her because she was the first person to speak to me. And it's just that simple. It's not like I need you to like always push your product. Just say hi to me. All she did was say hello.
Yeah.
And that was all it took. She got a sale because she said hello to me. Not because I needed a soap or lotion or whatever else, but because she said hello. And then later on, my friend needed something. I was like, hey, there's a woman in the vendor hall that sells that thing you might be looking for. Let me take you to her. She got more sales after that because I brought someone to her because she said hello. The most important thing she did, not she had a great pitch or a great fancy sign. She said hi.
She's sweet.
She's an absolute sweetheart. And she said hello. There's a lot of power in just being a good person.
You better believe it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of selling power
making that eye
contact. Being a good person.
Yes. And acknowledging people. You have to do that. Like I said, sitting there like a bump on a log. Yeah, not going to get you nowhere.
Don't look morose.
Yeah, don't look morose. Smile.
Because you know what? When you look sad, no one wants to approach the sad person.
No.
That's anywhere. No one wants to approach the sad person.
That's true. That's true. And then another point I wanted to make on the subject here, circling back around, is imposter syndrome.
I suffer greatly.
That's hard. I think everyone does. And when you're going into selling your books and you're first getting into writing and it really starts sinking in. Oh, I'm not good enough. I didn't win this award. I didn't sell 50 books. I didn't, and you're thinking, oh, well, everybody's better than me and I can't do this and blah, blah, blah. And it really starts, you're tearing up your own career. Really, you are detrimental to yourself. You've got to think positively and say, be persistent. Persistence pays off. Just keep trying, keep building, keep growing. More you do something, better you get. Keep going, keep staying on that train. That's the best thing you can do. And quit, just get out of your head. It's hard, but you got to get out of your head. And get into a group or, get a circle of friends that's going to lift you up because it does take a village. I always say, we talk about getting your tribe, find your tribe. Don't find people that's going to, bring you down and say, oh, you ain't good enough. And, your writing's not good enough. And it happens.
Stay away from critics and stay away from yes men.
Yes. Yeah, somebody's going to blow smoke up your ass. Don't.
Yes.
You need somebody to be honest with you.
That is the most important information I can give. Like, stay away from critics who are just going to be like, you need it. If that's all they ever say to you, stay away from them. And if the people are like, oh yeah, you're great, fantastic, wonderful, amazing, stay away from them because you're not going to get anything critical that's helpful from any of those people. Heather Dewey Pettit has some really good comments. If Sako can bring those up. Thank you. She said, my journalism background has influenced my creative writing by making me write cleaner and also short sentences in paragraphs. She also says people in critique groups would constantly remind me to combine my paragraphs. And it's one of those things when you switch mediums, things have to change. Going from prose to screenwriting, you got to really switch things up and you do that. But I think it's one of those things, the important part from that I took from it, that comment, is just knowing the people around you who know you and know what your goals are and how to help you best.
And don't lose your voice. Don't listen to all them, like the paragraphs. Every author has their own voice and their own style.
Right. But sometimes it's a structure thing. So having someone who's seen it before and done it before, it's good to have those people to look at and be like, here's something I want you to consider. But always remember, it's your book.
That's right.
It's your book in the end.
That's right. That's just like editing, because we both are editors. You never pull away from the author's voice. And if you do have an editor that tries to rewrite everything and pull away from your voice and change their style and change, the way they say things that doesn't need changed, it's not an editorial error. You need to correct it. It's just the style. Then you get a different editor. Yeah. You need an editor that's going to be honest, that's going to keep your voice, that's
protect that.
Protect that. Now there is times when you might have your editor, will say, hey, if this is confusing to the reader, it would sound better if you would,
approach it
it a different direction or add a little bit more depth, to the paragraph or whatever. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah, don't try to write what you think people want. Stay true.
No,
to your
write for
voice.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Write what you like to read.
Oh, that's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one for all creatives. We talk about the convention a lot, and I want to ask this question because Sako wrote it down, and I have to. What makes a convention truly valuable for creators? Not just enjoyable, but actually like career impacting. I could give a testimonial, but we have the question for you. Go ahead.
Networking.
Yes.
I'll say networking. Talk to everyone. If you don't, if you are a vendor, you're vending during the day or whatever, there's stuff going on all evening. Chit chat with your fellow authors, filmmakers, game designers. You chat with people, you would not believe the contacts you can get. Because it goes back to the Kevin Bacon thing. We're always, 7 steps away. Well, you wouldn't believe in Imaginarium. You're going to be about 1 step away from some pretty amazing people. It's unbelievable who people know and have contact with and can get you into the fold or, mentor, finding a mentor. And the guests that we have, our main guest, we vet them, and we want people that are approachable, that do like to answer your questions, that you can go up to. It's not a cattle call like at a Comic-Con where you have to pay to have your picture taken with them and all that, and you get to talk to them for 3 seconds. No, you can go up like Heather Grant. You can go up Don Bentley. You go up and talk to these people, and they will answer your questions. They will give you advice. They will, sit with you and chat with you. One-on-one, which is invaluable.
Absolutely. And then there's also the professional opportunities. So whether it's pitching to a film distributor or pitching to a literary agent, things like that, or finding a publisher or finding a good editor. I mean, there's all kinds of professional opportunities,
illustrators,
artists. So yeah, there's just so much. So much, beyond the enjoyable aspects that you can get that make it well worth coming.
And then the education alone, the programming, the craft of writing itself, and the different genres we touch on. We touch on all genres. Current topics, hot topics. AI, of course, is the huge one. Right now. But yeah.
I've been on a couple of different AI panels. And one famously got kind of heated, but
and they always shifting landscape of marketing because it changes all the time. What works, what doesn't work, what the algorithms are doing on different social media platforms, and so we always
we have a few marketing workshops.
So keeping current on things is also a value of this convention.
Yep.
I love that. And I'll tell you that this is my one testimonial. There's a lot of there's so many panels you can go to, many workshops you can go to, vendor tables you can sit at and whatnot. But there's nothing more valuable, particularly at Imaginarium, than the couch.
Hey, I love that couch.
The couch, and here's the fun part: the couch has nothing to do with the convention at all. This has nothing to do with.
Well, yeah, it does. It's right
there.
Well,
hold on, hear me out. It's in the hotel. It's always there, but it happens to be. It happens to be just kind of where this hall meets this hall. Yeah. It's just where everyone decides to sit, and you have a filmmaker here. You have an author here. a
Yeah, you get all
bestseller
different.
here,
Yeah.
and a new writer here, and everyone's just sitting down having a drink. Don't tell the hotel I said this, particularly at night. Last year, quite a few of us brought down our own personal bottles and hung out
You have to be
at the
very
couch.
discreet.
We weren't.
Well, then
That's right.
I get told, but nobody's seen you, or I'd have got.
Oh, we have bottles, like bottles. This guy's bringing bottles. This guy brings the other bottle. I'm like, oh, we're doing this number. Be right back. I go back and I grab a bottle. We've got like 3 or 4 different bottles. We're all sharing and sampling, and we're having a good time. And it's in this conversation you learn about what this person is doing. This person is doing. You know, you walk away film writing, and this author is like, I could use an adaptation. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Someone approached me. I wasn't ready yet. I'm not there yet. But still,
I need to add that to the programming.
The
late night couch session.
Shh! Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody.
You can't tell people about the couch. They have to experience the couch for themselves. They have to experience the couch. The couch has to stay fluid. It has to stay natural. It just has to be.
It's a natural occurrence.
It's just how it's the natural ebb and flow of it.
I get hollered at every time I walk by there. Everybody's like, "Hi!" I'm like, "Hey!" Or I'll sit down or hug people. Or yeah. It's fun. Or I lend my hair, to the people that I think my hair's been over Moon's head, and it's been over many people's.
Michael
head.
Nost.
Michael Nost, yes, Nost. Yeah, he shared mine. Eric Carr, he had it 1 year. He looked like a rocker.
And I love how Miss Discreet is Miss like pitcher of beer just running around the hotel. Well, you can't tell
because I have a straw in a pitcher of beer, and that's how I run around.
Yeah, we can't be discreet.
No, and I'm not going to keep going back and getting glass after glass.
No. Yeah, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. It how it's worked. Let's see. We got about 4 or 5 minutes left of our regular run time, and I want to see if I can get a Sako to last on the screen long enough to share something and be present. Can I get a Sako?
Hey.
Can we unmute the Sako?
Okay.
There she is.
Hi, Sako.
Hi, guys. So I have 5. I have a little surprise for you. I have 5 rapid fire questions.
Hopefully,
that I would love to ask you that kind of like play among both the authordom and the publishing stuff, and also the
suspense.
Right. This is why Sako's been backstage. If anybody's wondering why it's been me babbling the entire time, this is why.
Hey, it did freeze on one of her good faces.
I told you. This is what I literally warned them about this before the show started. That these are the faces.
There she is. She's back.
Am I?
You're back.
So far, question 1. Let's get through some.
All right. Traditional or indie, and why? Ladies first.
Okay. Traditional. How much of your voice do you want to save? Because they're going to take some of your voice and they're going to put what cover art they want. You're not going to have control of that. The one that we talked about had a dog on the cover. There wasn't even a dog in the story. So you've got to look at that. Yeah, you're probably going to sell more books. Yeah, they help you with marketing more, but you still got to market yourself. That's just the way it is now. Indie publishing, you have more control over that. You have more control over your cover art. You have control over you keeping your voice. You can choose your own editors. You can, choose your cover artist. You have more
control.
Yeah, free. Yeah, freedom. Go ahead.
I'm saying, I would echo what Holly's saying. It's a degree of control between the two, and and indie being retaining control, and traditional, you just
now the ending. You're going to have to do more of your your business side. You got to have to take care of that. You're going to have to take care of your marketing more.
More hats.
More hats. You wear more hats.
That's
but you have
where the
freedom.
names come from. The wearer of hats, the doer of things.
That's
Indie
it.
authors have to do all the things themselves and wear all the hats. That's where
Right.
our names.
So it just depends on what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Question 2.
Panels or networking, which matters more?
What was the first word?
Panels or networking, which matters more?
Oh God.
That's a tough one because I think you can network in panels. I mean, I think if you go and you listen to good panelists and then meet them, talk to them after the panel, you're networking. So, I think you can engage in effective networking through attending panels.
Yeah, you can actually do both, and both are equally important. The education side, though, panels, I would say panels are more important, but I'm privy to programming for the simple fact of what you said is you can network on panels. You can sit on panels with people that have sold 1 million books, like Heather Graham, right? Because I do a mixture of panels. I've got people that are, traditional publishing, or you have went the traditional publishing route, people that are indie publishing are all on the same panel, sometimes. So yeah, I'm going to say it's the programming because you can network through that.
I've actually networked a lot. I'm waiting for her to pop back in. Networked a lot from just the panels I was on or panels I attended. Chad Elliott, I met him. We were both in the audience of a panel and we both responded. We were in the audience of a panel. We weren't even on panels, and that's how we networked and became friends. Sako,
he's one of our new authors.
He is.
Most overrated piece of writing advice?
Say it again.
Most overrated piece of writing advice.
There you go. What she said.
You're going to get me to talk about word counts because I counsel all my authors that I work with as an editor or on the press side not to beat yourself over the head with having strict word counts. And I'm not saying like it was awful in the NaNoWriMo context, but sometimes when it's more important to write regularly. And sometimes life happens. That means you only get 300 words in a day. But as long as you're writing on a regular basis, to me, that's the most important thing, not getting bogged down by having to hit a strict word count every day.
And I'm going to say, if you're a writer, you're going to have to be a reader because it goes hand in hand. I know people say, well, I don't have time to read. Well, you make time to read. Don't watch that extra episode on Netflix. Don't, whatever. Read. You got to read something. I don't care if you're reading articles or magazines or just audiobooks or reading some ebooks or in print. It doesn't matter, but you got to read.
While she's frozen, I'll have to say that growing up, I was always touted as being a good writer in class. And I was one of those, I don't have to read to be a good writer people. I was one of those people until I started reading. And then I learned, because again, you can be a good writer and not read. You can. You have a good understanding of how word structure works and conveying a good story. However, I will tell you firsthand, as one of those people who thought he was a better writer despite not reading, once I started reading, I started seeing things better, understanding the structure of a story being told, where the line of too much info dumping, as you can say, too much information, too much exposition, you start to notice those lines a little bit more. So read a lot and read a variety of things.
Yeah, because that's it, the variety, and you could think, ooh, I could write that better. I'd write it like this.
Read outside the genres that you write in.
Yeah.
That's
because you'll learn a lot from different spaces. Sako, I think that's 3 questions. We got more?
One thing every first-time attendee should do?
Ooh. Talk to me. Find me.
Find the moon, for one thing. I'm going to say attend the room parties, right? Because you're going to do panels, you're going to do workshops, you're going to do all that. Attend the room parties because you're going to network. You're going to get to see people in a relaxed state. Where we've been on all day, right? Our professional states. the after parties and the fun panels, like we do really fun panels at night,
or even
you know,
karaoke.
the
things like
karaoke,
that, yeah.
come to the karaoke,
Do the fun stuff.
do the fun stuff, enjoy and network while you're enjoying, and you actually get to know people as they are.
Yes.
For
I will tell you, first Imaginarium, I was the first night. I live in Louisville, so I went home. Right after the events, I went home, and then my buddy came. So he's like, "All right, listen, dude. I stayed. I went to the room parties. Bring a bag. You're staying tonight. I don't know how we'll figure it out, but tonight you're staying, and you're coming to these room parties because this is where you get to really know people."
Yep.
And that's where the honest conversations happen. The professional side goes away.
That's true.
Always find the room parties.
Yes, 100%.
Yes, that is where you'll find me if I'm not.
Whether you drink or not, it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah. Drinking is nothing. Like that's. There's a comment from Ren where she was talking about panels, sharing meals, shopping, all our networking tools. And I wanted to emphasize on that point. Ren makes an excellent point. Networking isn't just, hi, here's my business card. Well, hi, here's my business card. That's not networking. Yeah. That's selling. That's selling yourself. That's when you are sitting and having a meal with people, when you're at the room parties, sharing a drink, or just talking about this, that, and the third. It has nothing to do with anything you're doing. You're getting to know genuine people. That is true networking. That's when you start making less colleagues and more friends. You start making friends there. And those friends can be incredible resources for you. And they want to be resources for you. We did. This show exists because of networking through Imaginarium.
Yeah.
This whole show exists. And
we've all been to room parties together. I've been to room parties.
Never been to a room party. Eva Patrice hasn't been to a room party. She's going this year.
Oh, you got to go. You got to go.
We got her.
And you got to come see me at karaoke too.
Yeah. Oh, like this year when Eva stays, I got her. I got her. We're going to see Holly After Dark. We know how this plays out.
You know how that works.
We know how Holly After Dark plays.
Good stories there.
There are some stories. This show is not the place for them. Not for the whole. Not on Betty White's internet. We can't do that right now. We can't. But yeah, networking. Do we have another question, or do you have?
Okay, one last question. One trend in publishing you wish would disappear.
Oh, trend.
Trend in publishing that I wish would disappear. That's a tough one.
That is tough. I'm stumped. Hold on.
This is what Sako does. Like, she's great.
Boy, that is tricky.
I don't do Sako questions better as good as Sako does, but like, I have to do Sako questions Moon's way. We all know how messed up that's going to be. It's like, we know that walking in. It's fine.
I mean, there are sometimes there's popularity in certain subgenres that come into vogue that I may not personally like, but everything needs to have its time, and and they have audiences. So it's kind of like when I respect music that I may not personally get into. So I can't bash anything there on trends. But one thing is the cliquishness sometimes that you find in some of the online communities, and I think and the big cliquishness among the certain communities that are online and toward where it's really it's like unless you're part of that clique, you really can't get seen or heard. That's one trend that I'm not fond of, and I'm not gonna smear anybody in particular, but if you get out there, you'll see it. You'll know what I'm talking about.
That kind of goes into the drama of joining associations. There's a lot of drama in some of those associations.
We're not talking about anyone in particular.
No, but it happens, and it's because it goes back to cliquishness, right? Mm-hmm. If you ain't got this name, or you don't know, friends with this person or whatever, well then you're not worthy, you're nothing, and But it's the cliquish behavior and the drama, like middle school. drama. It's amazing.
Yeah,
what goes on,
major
and it's like,
organizations.
get out of there.
Yeah.
Disassociate disassociate with people like that. If that's going on, don't even waste your
walk
time.
away. Walk away, people.
Save your mental health. Save your, I think we
save your time.
And save your time.
There's a group of. I mean, I have entered the horror space. That's where I came in. That's why we had to do a horror podcast. I have a horror book, and we do horror movies with our film group. Is everybody? Am I moving? Am I moving?
Yeah, you are.
You're moving.
I don't know if you can hear us, but yeah.
Oh, I can hear you guys. You guys were moving, but Sako wasn't moving, so I thought maybe it was me. I was.
Our faces are froze here, but yeah, we can.
Right.
Can hear
okay, you're still there. It's cool. So I was welcomed in with the group of horror writers like James Sabata, S.A. Bradley, Brian Haas, and John Palisano. These. When you guys hear me refer to the cool kids, those are the cool kids. And they let me in to the cool kids. They let me be one of them. And I've read some of their work, and I don't think I am anywhere up to par, but like I'm welcomed anyway. They recognize me for my, attention to the craft, and I appreciate them for that, which is why I refer to the group as the cool kids. And that's the kind of group you want. The people who are just like, hey, you're a cool guy. Come hang with us.
Right.
That's the group of people that you should be looking for.
It's true.
When you find your group, whether that's local or in some convention, whatever the situation is, those are the people you need to be looking for.
And we always say, find your collaborators, not competitors. And that's what we should be to each other. We should be collaborators.
Yeah, there's enough space on the shelf for all of our books.
Yes, there
is. I say that a lot now.
I have the horror cadre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's like 5 or 6 of us that are all horror authors, and we're like besties.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have each other to lean on, or if you get stuck on something, you can, they can help flesh it out. With character development or whatnot, you're stuck on something and say, hey, I'd like your input. What do you think? Or I need a good name for this character here, or, something like that. Just collaborating instead of, being competitors. Just
people you can shoot a text. It's the people you can just shoot a text to and be like, yo, I got an issue. I have a question. Hit me up when you're free. And I've had that a few times. Someone just like, hey, Moon, when you got a minute, let me run something by you real quick. I'm like, cool. They'll send me, I have people who send me text messages. This weekend while I'm working, I'm going to be reading through somebody's screenplay. It's a thing. It's what we do for each other. You know what I mean? And
it's a community.
No one's being paid for it. I don't ask for money for them. Don't do that. Don't be that person.
None of us have money. What's money?
Help your friends. Like, these are people who, I may not be, an award-winning filmmaker one day, but that person might be, and they'll be like, who helped me through? That guy.
Exactly right. We help each other.
I am just as happy as being the name mentioned in someone's thank you speech as I am holding the award myself. If I know that something I said or did helped someone along, I've done my job. Someone did that for me. They reached down off that ladder and pulled me up. So I'm gonna reach back and I'm gonna pull somebody up with me. I don't know how far up the ladder we're going, but we're going up.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Nowhere to go but up.
There's nowhere to go but up. We can't fall down. I can't do that.
That's right.
Safety equipment.
Persistence.
Before we wrap up, tell our listeners where they can discover 7th Star Press, find your authors, and keep up with new releases.
Sure. Well, our main hub is 7thstarpress.com, and that's spelled out. No numbers in that. 7th Star Press, and you can find all our social media contacts from there as well for that.
And then Imaginarium, of course, is
entertheimaginarium.com. And that also will give you everything you need to know, and all of our social media platforms for there too.
Yes.
Including how to get tickets. Heather Dewey Pettit. I saw that you want to attend Imaginarium one day. And you should. You should
Yes, you
attend
should.
Imaginarium.
Yes,
one
you
day.
should. Heather
Because
says
if
she
anything,
intends on
where's the cool
attending. Attend this year. Come see us.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. We're the cool kids. Like, you got to hang out with us.
That's it.
Okay. I have a 30-second outro.
We'll see how
And
far she can get through it.
let's see how far I can get through it. Okay. So that brings us to the end of this episode of Sako and the Moon. A huge thank you to the team.
Yeah, we got like 5 seconds through it. I really thought we had 30. I thought we had 30 left before she.
It looks like she's singing.
Yeah,
she might be singing the blues because she just can't get 30 seconds.
She just can't get through it.
So I'll do this. How about this? I want to personally thank Holly and Stephen for coming in to the show, coming in as our guest and giving us all this wonderful advice and all this encouragement. That's the one thing I get from Imaginarium every single year that is consistent with everyone I talk to. You walk away encouraged. You walk away inspired. So if anything, I hope you walk away encouraged and inspired from this conversation. I hope to see you all in July at Imaginarium. And in the meantime, inspire fear, because Sako put that on YouTube somewhere.
Goodbye.
And then we're going to be out. And then you guys can like and subscribe to the things.
That's right. Like, subscribe.
She can cut the thing off whenever she wants.